Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing season 13 episode Kenya of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we pick up where we left off last week with, or the week before last, because it's been 2 weeks, with Kenya and Marlo arguing about why they cannot be friends, which is, I mean, I feel like it's obvious at this point, and I'm tired of this being a thing. Just be cordial and get on with it. So somebody suggests playing a game, and Kenya's like, oh, how about we play the game of running upstairs and putting on our pajamas and going to sleep? It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at this point. We are on a girls trip. We could have did this at home. We could have had a barbecue in somebody's backyard. Like, everybody's got stuff going on in their life. They could be at home for you to have poorly planned this trip this much. Somebody comes up with the idea, I think maybe it was LaToya, to play Never Have I Ever. So the girls went upstairs and come back down in their pajamas, and they're ready to play, and everybody's like, girl, where is Kenya? So Candy goes to get Kenya, and Kenya is upstairs with Brooklyn, and she's not coming back down. So at this point, Candy is pissed. She comes back downstairs, and she's like, look, she's not coming. I'm tired of playing these games. We either gonna do this or we not. So at this point, it just turns into a rant session about the double standard and lack of communication on Kenya Moore's part. So everybody's ranting and raving, and this ain't fair. We all left our kids. You should too. And they just say, you know what? Forget the game. Let's just go lay down. Everybody's tired. So they all go to bed for the night. Fast forward to the next day. Everybody's FaceTiming their families, which I think is super weird. I don't know why Bravo does this, because if I was on the cast and I'm FaceTiming my husband, kids, whatever, like, give me this, can I have 5 minutes? Like, you always got to have the camera. Imagine trying to FaceTime your significant other or kids, and somebody with the camera is like, and go. Like, why? While Cynthia is FaceTiming her fiance Mike, Candy gathers everybody together and was like, hey, let's go through this real quick. You guys don't know, but I'm planning a bachelorette party. Well, I have planned, because this is a good host. This is not a Kenya type host. This is a good host. So she says, I have planned this bachelorette party for Cynthia tonight. Don Juan's got the stripper. I've got your outfits. I got 4K and ones. Like, we just want to have a good time tonight. So don't tell Cynthia. And I'm like, well, dang, this is how you do it. This is how you host an event. This makes so much more sense. Like, Kenya needs to take note of this. So everybody's excited. They're like, ooh, we got outfits. Like, we didn't have to do anything, because that's what hosts do. They set things up so that you don't have to do anything. You just show up and enjoy yourself. Kenya comes in all late. What's the plan for tonight? Oh my God. Candy's like, oh no, we need to have a talk. So Candy pulls Kenya aside, and they go have a conversation out on the balcony. And she basically confronts her about her behavior throughout the entire trip. The double standards and lack of communication. So Kenya basically explains that she has been having a very hard time as it relates to dealing with the separation, the divorce, Brooklyn, Mark controlling her, and all that is fine. Like, I'm not saying that situation is fine, but all that is okay. It is okay to be going through a lot and not being able to hold it together. The problem is you did all this and decided you were going to host a trip and not participate half the time, poorly plan things, not explain things, make sure you good, you set, but not everybody else. And her whole, oh, it was food in the fridge. Okay, well, if the food in the fridge was that good, then she wouldn't have ordered out. She would have ate what was in the fridge. Ain't no reason you should be having a girls trip. You got crab cake and fries, and everybody else got sandwich meat or something they gotta cook, or bananas. Nobody wants to eat that on a girls trip. Or at least people are drinking. They need some good, heavy food. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with her? You could tell Kenya's going through a lot. She's been doing a lot of crying. She looks very rough, which I'm sure we all do when a lot's going on, but I hate to say it. This is my little bit of shade, but I see why they call her Skinya Moore, because she looked rough in this scene. But she is still a beautiful woman, especially for her age, so I have to give her props. She may be Skinya Moore, but she looks good 90% of the time. So it's at this point where Kenya just says, I just feel like too much is coming at me at one time, and Kandi and Latoya had to step up and take over part of the hosting. So Latoya is gonna host the rest of the day, and Kandi is going to host that evening for the bachelorette party. Later on, Kenya explains to the group what's going on and why she's been acting the way she's been acting. She does not apologize though. Let's get that clear. She does not apologize for her behavior. She just states why she's been acting the way she's been acting. And they also explain that they're going out to eat later, and the women are like, oh my God, we're actually leaving this house. See, that's how you know you did a crap job. When people are like, we're actually getting out of the house for this trip. So, although it is a pandemic, so I do understand that it's difficult, so. But Latoya says she's taking over and they are working out, and against her better judgment, I'm sure, she decides, you know what, let's all take a shot before we do this exercise. Which, wow. They must have stomachs of steel, because, So they all go outside, they take another shot, and they start to work out. And Latoya is actually somebody that I'm not her biggest fan, but I would go to the gym with her, because she was really like, hey, Cynthia, you got a wedding in however many days. Let's step it up. So-and-so, come on, pick those knees up higher. She's like, oof. But Drew and Portia sit this one out. Drew sits the workout out for a valid reason. Her foot is swelling up from the surgery, and you know, she probably had to do some exercise and some stuff to try and relieve the swelling and make sure she's not exacerbating her injury. So she sits and she has a heart-to-heart with Portia, and she is just flabbergasted at everybody taking shots and working out, because she's like, just last night, everybody was in a tizzy about Kenya's behavior, and they were saying how upset they were, to the point people were crying. And now today we're taking shots and working out. Kenya is twirling across the front of the lawn. What the heck is going on? And she just basically says, I can put my issues aside and be cordial, but this is just complete fakeness. And you know what? I mean, I agree, but I think that the women were like, look, we've been stuck in this house. We've been dealing with all this crap from Kenya. At this point, I just want to have a little bit of fun, like just a little bit of fun. And I'm just gonna take these shots and I'm gonna work out, because I'm here to drink and have a good time. Despite the foolishness, that is what I'm here for. And that's probably what I would have did. Like, I wouldn't have been buddy-buddy with Kenya, but I would have been trying to relax and have a good time. I don't really want to start this argument right now. And plus, Kenya tried to explain herself. So I guess they were just like, oh girl, whatever. Okay, well, what's the next thing we're gonna do? Latoya's taking over, let's go. Which, I would have did the same thing. So she just can't get down with it. It's too much. She's tired. She could have stayed home for this. She's in the middle of a move. I feel like everybody's in the middle of critical parts of their lives, and they're taking this time to be on a girls' trip, to starve all day and to drink on empty stomachs and stay in the house. So as they finish their workout, Portia says, hey, so the Breonna Taylor charges should be coming up soon. So it should be coming out soon. So let's go inside and turn the TV on and see that. So they all sit down, which was a really cute moment. Unfortunately, you know, it just seems like every time things try to go up a little bit in the trip, that's when things get worse. This trip is really a bummer. It did not come out the way anybody wanted, and so it's just like, that's another damper on the trip. Like, it's sad at this point. At this point, I would be like, okay, it's time to go home. Because you can see in everybody's eyes it was taking a heavy toll on their mood. Fast forward to the evening. Everybody's really excited to be getting out of the house, which fair. And it's funny how, I think it was Shamia who made the comment about the aunties versus the nieces. And it's funny how much that little shady comment, and that's like a little shady because a lot of them look really good for their age. And they're really beautiful women all together. So there's no reason for them to be this upset, not upset, but for that comment to bother them the way it did. Because if you pay attention last episode, Candy dressed up in her bodysuit and she was like, I'm gonna show you auntie. And now this episode, Cynthia's like, I'm trying to shake this auntie stuff. You're a beautiful auntie. And at a glance, I'm sure you could pass for a niece. Just embrace it. Embrace your beauty wherever you are in life. It's hard. It's easier said than done. But these are all beautiful women. They have no reason to be worried about auntie versus niece versus anything. So they get to the restaurant and they all sit down and everybody's excited to be out, which I understand. And Drew's like, you know what? I got a game for y'all since we didn't play one last night. Let's play the real versus the fake, or the realist versus the fakest. And the camera immediately goes to Candy and she knows like this is about to be some. So she explains what the game is, and it ends up being something where she uses Kenya as an example, and she shouldn't have said, let's use you as an example. The issue that you have right now is with Kenya and her behavior and how everybody is tiptoeing around it. Basically, this turns into everybody unleashing their frustration about how Kenya has been acting. Like what Candy did earlier, this is everybody else's turn because, you know, we finally having a chance to have this conversation. R.I.P. Messy Maya. So they're finally getting a chance to talk about Kenya and her lack of communication, poor planning, as well as double standards. And Kenya is extremely defensive. Everybody's saying how they're feeling and Kenya is blowing it back, making it about her and her mothering and how she has nobody, which, I mean, she probably does not have anybody. Because if she treats people the way she treats people on the show, then I would not be surprised if she does not have a village. It's unfortunate. Like when she said, you're complaining about me not having a village, then step up and be my village. But you were just telling these girls off. No. So Kenya is basically explaining what her issues are, and Tanya is ordering her food. She's ordering appetizers for the table, which fair. Yesterday, they went all day without having anything to eat really, while Kenya ate. So she's like, look, we're finally at a restaurant. We're finally having a chance to eat some really good food. I'm ordering. We're not talking about this for 2 hours. And then Portia is on the phone scrolling. She's just like, screenshot it. She's in her own little world, and Kenya's like, well, I'm not gonna keep talking. You guys want me to talk, but then when I have the chance to talk, you guys are not paying attention and ordering it on your phone. Well, if you look back, if I'm not mistaken, in the previous episode, when Kenya and Marlo were arguing, or basically a lot of times when they're having disagreements, Kenya's just like checked out, and she's just, you know, or she'll just walk away. So why is it when they do it, it's a problem, but when you do it, it's okay? See, this is what they're talking about. Also with her, don't come for my, what did she say, for my parenting skills or something. Nobody's coming for from your parenting skills, and you're saying that your daughter has never spent a night away from you. Well, that's nice. I'm sure some of these women would appreciate having that same opportunity, but they don't. They leave their children at home. They leave them with their nannies. They leave them with their family, whatever the case is. So it's not fair. And for example, because Candy even said, well, you need to make sure you leave some time tonight. Leave some time tonight so that you can participate in tonight's events. And Kenya's like, well, next time you need to give me a heads up that we need 2 nannies. Okay, and Candy's like, I mean, that's what I do. That's what I have to do. I gotta come out of pocket for 2 nannies, a day nanny and a night nanny. Why can't you do the same? These are the double standards they're talking about. And I don't believe that she had to extend the offer for everybody to bring their kids, because this is supposed to be a girls' trip. But if you would have communicated that you are having issues finding help for childcare, they probably would have understood, and this would have gone over a little bit better. I don't believe it would have been perfect. They wouldn't have been like, oh, well, that's fine. They probably would have had some pushback, but not as bad as this, because you're not communicating anything with the other ladies. So it's just, you know, Kenya is a poor communicator, but what's new? So we end the night with the ladies returning back to the house, and they're about to get ready for the bachelorette party. So I feel like Bravo has dragged this out enough. Next episode, they better start with the party, because I'm tired. They have dragged this out this entire time. So I'm looking forward to it, and that wraps up season 13, episode 9 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me know what you think. Follow me on Instagram at HeyMissGardner and on Twitter at The Joys of Life YouTube. And let me know, like, if you have any other comments or opinions about Kenya and her terrible behavior. You might have something I didn't think of. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.